Hello everybody, this is Cheesedud6. We are back with another episode of our survival Let's Play. In the last episode, we set up our beacon down there. We set it up, mined out a ton of precious materials, even though I have no sort of economy on my survival world. Because it's single player. I don't need an economy. Anyway, between episodes, I went on vacation with my family. It was nice. We are all safe from the current pandemic. If you're watching this far in the future, we are currently in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic of 2020. But if you are watching this currently, you already know that, so I don't need to tell you that. What we're going to do in this episode, now that I am back from vacation, is we are going to build a mob farm. Now, the reason that we need a mob farm is that this is how I've been getting all of my gunpowder. Running around the desert, killing creepers, and to be quite frank, I'm getting real tired of this. I want to just be able to put in... I want to just be able to put in some work up front and then have the machine do everything for me. So that is what we're going to do. I am going to do it in this area. I think this block right here, this is a grass block that an Enderman placed down at some point. I think this will be our central location because it's far enough away from these... Hello? It's far enough away from those walls where we probably will not need to worry about things spawning over here. So I am going to go sleep, and then I'll grab my materials and we can get started on the planning it out and placing down the beginnings of the farm. Okay, so in this shulker box are all of the redstone and technical things that we will need. And then I went off mining between episodes, just got a bunch of sandstone, have smelted a bunch of it down into smooth sandstone, chiseled sandstone, etc. I don't actually know what I'm going to do with all of these things, but, you know, we'll figure it out as we go. I don't actually have that many scaffolding blocks, so that is why I'm chopping down this bamboo here. I'm going to use up pretty much the last of my string. I've reserved a little bit for item filters, but we're going to use this, craft up some scaffolding, and that should be plenty for this project, and also probably some future projects as well. You can despawn. That's okay. Okay, so I've just torch spammed a little bit down here, just so we don't get surprised by any baddies when we're working at night. And I think what we should do first is set up our collection area. We're gonna build one of those farms that goes way up into the sky, and then the mobs will drop down, and we'll have some magma blocks down here to kill any of the zombies or skeletons that have feather falling on their boots. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Most of the mobs will die to fall damage, and then the ones that don't, there will be magma blocks. Just to catch the stragglers, yeah. So what we need to do first is stop walking in a circle like this. We need to decide where this collection area is going to be exactly. Wait a second. Do you see that spider crawling up the giant wall? Oh, and now it just glitched into non-existence. Okay. Anyway, this I think is where I have it. Anyway, this is where I have placed the platform for the time being. I don't know if I want to keep it here permanently because I just realized that this hill may limit the productivity of this farm. So I'm scaffolding up to world height. We've made it. And now I'm going to... We'll rocket up here. Wow, that took 4 rockets. And I have a data pack installed. This is by Logical Geek Boy. If I do /function, logical, and then show the spawn sphere, it spawns in all of these glowing armor stands. And this tells us exactly where the spawn radius is. So as you can see, if we are all the way at world height, then any mob outside of this range will just automatically despawn, which means we won't want the platform down this low, and we'll want it up. What is that, 20 blocks, 30 blocks? I don't know. I don't think we want to go all the way to world height, but I do want to go high enough to make sure we don't have to, go into any caves down here and light those up, because that's just a pain. So I think maybe 15 blocks down up there and 15 blocks up down here. So I'll try that and then I'll get back to you. All right, so I actually went 25 blocks or 26 blocks down at the top to get us to y equals 230, and we're still not in range of the mountain, which is great, or hill, whatever you want to call that. So I still do want to take this upward some. Let's say we definitely want it within this circle, I think. But also, I want to see how far we can push downward, because the lower in the world you are, the more effective mob farms are. Oh, hello. I think that's because Mojang wants mobs to spawn in caves more often than they spawn, up on islands and stuff like that. So let's hide the spawn sphere and show it again. And let's see, are we encroaching upon this hill finally? Yeah, we are. Okay. Oh, there's an invisible spider. Hello. And he's coming for me. All right, so yeah, I think that's about as low as we can go up there. Meaning we will want some more magma blocks. 9 of them to be precise. And we'll go up within range of these armor stands. Let's do right here just to be safe. Okay, so now we can see we are inside of the sphere. We're at the bottom, and there are no spawnable spaces. Well, I guess the magma would be spawnable by, like, zombie piglin, which are now, zombified piglins. Wow, it's going to take me forever to remember that they are zombified piglins. Anyway, when we're standing at the top of the scaffolding, now this is the only spawnable, or this is the spawnable radius, and or where mobs will despawn if they are outside of. So no mobs will be able to spawn down on the desert floor. They will only spawn in our farm, which will be built up here. And from the ground, this is how far up the magma blocks are, which means we will need to go up another at least 24 blocks for the mobs to take enough fall damage, and I think I'll do maybe 30 blocks just to be safe. So 30 blocks up from here, and that's where we will actually start our farm. The design I'm using is pretty much Mistacat's design, but I think Mistacat adapted his from Nembon, who adapted his from Ilmango. So really, this is just like a classic. I think 1.11 was when observers were introduced, and this design has been around pretty much since then. It's really basic. It's observers and dispensers with water buckets and platforms. So yeah, nothing too complicated, but that is what we are using today. This to me is one of the coolest things, that you can just place a block on the side of a torch, and then all of a sudden it just floats in midair. That's awesome. That's something that I should totally not be excited about, but I am, because it's so cool. And also, it's totally not cool. Totally not cool. It's really cool. All right, here is the little catcher area. This will be flooded with water. So pretty much we're gonna put water in all of these spaces, and then all of the mobs will spawn from up here to down here. They will spawn, they'll get pushed off of their platforms onto the central platform, and then get pushed down here, where they will get pushed down to the magma blocks down below. So I think before we do any of the catching stuff up here, what we should do is head down there, make our little item catching area, and item sorter, and then we will come up here and we will build the rest of the farm. Okay, so I have built up this little item collection area. Mobs will drop onto the magma blocks, as you know. These minecarts will pick up the items. Anytime they have items in them, they will get stopped here, unload the items, and then they will all get sent down this hopper line, and then the hopper minecart will continue onward. So now what we want to do is we want to take this hopper line here, we want to make an item sorter out of it so we can have all of our items from this farm put into their own section. This, I've done this so many times, it should not be an issue at all. It will require quite a few hoppers since we have a lot of items, but we have an iron farm, so that should be no problem at all. Oh, I just noticed. That's so funny. So the grass block that we based where we were putting this farm down on was this block right here. And the Enderman just picked it up and is walking around with it. Interesting. As far as I can remember, I think we will have these 6 things to sort out: gunpowder, bones, string, spider eye, arrow, and rotten flesh. I could be forgetting things, I probably am, but this is what I have at the moment, and we can always come back and add more or have like a random item chest, like an overflow protection kind of thing. So for now, I'm going to set up 6 sorters with these particular items, and then I will meet you back here when I have done that. All right, that took quite a while, but now the sorting system is finished, and so is this giant chest array. It's actually not that giant, but this will hold quite a few item drops. I think it's gunpowder, bones, arrows, string, spider eye, rotten flesh, and then this is overflow. So if any of these get filled up, it'll go into here. And then I probably should add an extra overflow up top at some point, but I'm not going to do that right now. We have been visited by a wandering trader who has, I don't know, glowstone's kind of annoying to collect, but nothing that I want to get. So be gone. Be gone with you. Now, please. Anyway, this is pretty much it for the collection and sorting system. Obviously, we'll want to clean this up and make it look pretty at some point. And oh, hello there. Oh, you know, actually, let's get some more gunpowder. And let's see if this thing works as a sorting system. Cool. Awesome. So that is 5 gunpowder, not too much, but enough for us to test this. Oh, and just totally overshoot that. That's fine. We have the scaffolding here. All right, so now if we come right here, this is the gunpowder hopper. It has 7 in here. So if we make our way up here, throw the gunpowder on top of the magma blocks, they should get sucked up by the minecart hopper. You saw it got stuck there. And now we should have 12 gunpowder right in here, and we do. You can see I used some of our blaze rods that I renamed in the hopper as our like filter item. So awesome. I'm really glad that's working. Now the only thing left to do is actually build the farm. This scaffolding keeps getting in my way, so I built a little AFK platform, and now we can do this, which is very satisfying. Very nice. Now that we have our AFK platform, we can show 24 with Logical Geek Boy's data pack, and this will show us the lowest, or I guess the highest point where we can start spawning. So right about here, this is going to be our tallest platform, and then we will have a roof on it as well. So we'll have platforms all the way from here, basically down straight to the bottom there. So this is going to be quite the ordeal, but we can do it. We can do it. I believe in us. It's going to take a while. But I guess we should get started now. All right, we have our redstone clock in place. We have our redstone clock in place. We have the outline for our very first platform. And I thought before we did anything else, let's not waterlog that. Oops. Let's go ahead and place water all around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. And there we go. There is our collection chamber area thing. I'm going to leave this here. Actually, no. Let's get rid of this. So now we have an infinite water source in all of these edges. And that is what we will use to fill up our dispensers. But speaking of dispensers, I think it's time to place down our slabs. That doesn't relate to dispensers, but dispensers are a part of the farm, so it's time to build the farm. If you haven't seen this design before, it basically functions like there is a dispenser here that will shoot a bucket of water up, and by shoot I mean dispense. It'll dispense a bucket of water. The observer above that will detect that the water has been dispensed, which will dispense the water in the dispenser above that. And onward it goes all the way up to the top. It's pretty awesome. I had to come over here to smelt down some more smooth sandstone. And I have to say, this thing's looking pretty cool. And we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 layers. We still have like 40 more 40 more Y blocks to go, so that is at least 10 more layers. So this thing is going to look pretty awesome by the time it's done. Look at that. This is the final layer. I ran out of smooth sandstone slabs just in time for me to not be able to do the top layer. But of course we also have to do a ceiling over this to make sure everything is dark and that there is a light level low enough to where all of these mobs can spawn. So we are not quite done placing sandstone slabs. Sandstone slabs. Wow, that's kind of tricky. There we go. There is the top layer done. And of course we still have to go through, put water buckets in all of these dispensers. But in Mysticat's video, which is actually a creeper farm tutorial, they say to put trapdoors on the ceiling so only creepers and spiders spawn. I'm not doing that because I think the extra supply of bones will be really useful, especially with some of the projects that I have in mind on this. I was about to say server, but it's single player on this world. Yeah, so Mysticat's design says to alternate each time you have, like, let's say there's one layer with water flowing and one with water that's not flowing. But I went back and watched Nembon's video of the original design, and it says that actually doesn't make a difference. So I'm just going to put water in all of them with water buckets, full water buckets in all of them. And then we will finally do the ceiling, and we'll see if this thing is working. I believe this is the final water bucket. I may have missed one, which is why we are going to run a crash test of this. Let's see, we just need to get up here, have some ender pearls. Great. All right, so now what we do, we'll delete this redstone until there is just one pulse left. Awesome. Oh yeah, I'm feeling some lag. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn down my render distance to 12 chunks. Wow, all right. Lots of lag, which I think means this should be working. Yes, it is. And also, wow, that's some lag. I guess I'll keep the distance. Let me see if I can get these settings fixed, and then I'll be back. Well, It's definitely laggy, but it is working, as you can see. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to carefully fly down here. It seems to lag most when the water's going away. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off just by taking this bottom water bucket out. And then that should prevent the rest of the thing from working until I can get a roof in place. There we go. All right, I have 8 rockets remaining. I probably have some more somewhere. But it looks like, wow, we are spawning a lot of mobs down here. That's perfect. Oh, okay. I missed the bottom row, but somehow there has not been a single mob to spawn down here. Put the bucket in, it starts flowing. And we lag like crazy, but the mobs are getting pushed off, except for that one zombie. I don't know why he didn't get pushed off. See if he gets pushed off this cycle. Yes, he does. Awesome. So now, while still lagging, come down here. They die to fall damage. Some of their drops are getting sent around the farm, which is not ideal. But we should see... Oh man, so much lag. I'm gonna have to figure something out to make it not lag this much. But yes, we should start to see some drops down here. Yeah, we have some bones. I want to see if there's a way to prevent the drops from flying everywhere. Yeah, maybe that would just be the minecart going further out. Or maybe it would be... I don't know, I think there's probably a solution here. Maybe more water streams to push items toward the magma blocks. We will figure something out. But for now, I'm going to AFK up here. I'm going to AFK right here. And we will see the drops that we get after the amount of time that I am AFKing, which I don't know. It has been 25 minutes. If I had waited 5 more minutes, could have been 30 minutes. Anyway, we are going to head down. We're going to see what we have. I did come down about 10 minutes ago. Ooh. Just to see what was... Oh, yeah. Look, we have a zombie right there. Survived with feather falling. So I think we do probably need to expand this platform somewhat. Maybe we'll put hoppers around it. Anyway, I came down here to see what kind of drops we were getting left on the ground here. But after 25 minutes on our AFK platform, let's see what we have in the chest. Holy cow. That's more gunpowder than I've had this entire series so far. In 25 minutes? Are you serious? Plus the stuff I picked up off the ground. Wow. Pretty good supply of bones, too. This is faster than the skeleton spawner for sure. Arrows. String. Spider eye's empty. Oh, you only get those when the player kills the spider. Okay. Well, I don't really need those anyway. Rotten flesh and gunpowder? I don't know why that made it into the overflow, or the string. But it looks like we have gotten a couple witches. Awesome. Well, that is really, really cool. I think I need to shut off the machine and then figure out what we're doing here, because I do not want these mobs to drop on my head. So I'll be right back. Currently, my way of shutting this thing off is to remove these 4 blocks to let the light down. Obviously, this only works in the daylight, but I guess it works. All right, I'm gonna wait for this thing to suck the water back up, and then I'll take the water bucket out. This will shut the whole thing off, and also get rid of those lag spikes. I really need to figure out a way to turn off the redstone. I think maybe I'll do that between episodes, just so I don't waste anybody's time. But for now, I definitely want to figure this out. So what we could do is we could have hoppers all around the outside here, and then the hopper minecarts will pick up all the drops. I think that might be a pretty decent way to do this, especially since most of the drops should make it over there anyway. All right, so I think something like this might work. The only issue that I can think of is if one of the feather falling guys falls down here and then doesn't die to the magma block. Then they'll be able to walk off. But we only got that one feather falling guy in the 30 minutes or 25 minutes. So I think we should hopefully be okay. Let's do another test with this, just a quick one, maybe 5-10 minutes. See if we have any drops left on the ground. I changed my mind about 5 to 10 minutes since it's almost time for dinner here. So I'm gonna go eat, and I'll mark down the time, and we'll see how long it takes for us to keep building up some items. That sentence didn't make any sense. I'm gonna AFK while I go eat dinner, and I'll be back. Exactly 30 minutes later. Wow, that was good timing. Is this working? Did I... I forgot to turn it back on. Oh no. All right, well, I guess with that fail, we will end the episode here. If you have enjoyed this episode, everybody, make sure to leave it a like. Oh my goodness. Wow, did you see that? If you enjoyed this episode, everybody, make sure to leave it a like, because I have an arrow sticking out of my eyeball, and that is very uncomfortable. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. These episodes take a lot of time and effort, and the subscribing and subscribing shows me that you appreciate these episodes. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this episode, thank you. This has been CheeseDud6, and I'll see you next time.